Richard Davenport's with it now. Whole Hog Sports.
I mean, Richard knows. I mean, they created this $40,000 level for people just like Richard that are double platinum, triple diamond members.
He gets a media credential
and he's got 20 seats at the 50-yard line. That's how RD rolls.
How did you find that out?
Well, yeah, I FOI'd it. So
yeah.
Yeah,
it's the report's gonna be on hitthatline.com later on this afternoon. Richard, I mean that was one of your colleagues wrote that. Message boards, response, feedback. What have you gotten in the last 24 hours since Matt's post?
To be honest with you, the email. I saw one of the emails that talked about going up to the 40,000 or above, whatever range, and it was kind of confusing because it was almost like in order, regardless of what your status was, I mean, as far as contribution, say it's $5,000, it almost sounded like you, in order to keep your tickets, you had to up to 40,000, and it created some uncertainty with some people. Now, other people it didn't, but if you read the email, that at least the one that I saw, it was kind of confusing. So I think whoever did the email or whatever probably could have worded it better. And there was some uneasiness when it first came out.
Confusion by design.
Yeah,
I think.
Tommy should have proofread. Is that what you're saying?
It was. I'm telling you, it was. It was confusing and upsetting to some people, thinking they're going to have to come up with another $25,000-$30,000 to keep their tickets. But that was obviously it wasn't the case.
But the reality is, even if you're giving, listen, I don't give $10,000 a year. I don't give $5,000 a year. I give some, but not. But I'm. It's crystal clear to me. If I want to keep my seats where they're located, I'm going to have a choice. I can give more money, or I can move to a less desirable location.
So my $100 ain't cutting it. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it's not to keep. I don't know where you're sitting now, but if you're not upper deck corners in the stadium, you're probably going to have to move if you got a very desirable seat, and that's the reality. Richard, is you're paying a basketball coach $8 million. You're going to take $20+ million out of your budget for rev share. They've got to find a way to raise some more money, and this is one step to do that. And if you're given $40,000 a year, and that's the highest level, you should be able to sit wherever you want to sit in any venue.
Yeah, I agree. I totally understand trying to keep up with revenue sharing and the prices of just the price of just doing business in athletic departments across the country. I mean, it's obviously going to go up. And you have to do it, but at the same time, it's kind of scary when it first comes out. For a lot of these middle class, I just worry about pricing out middle class people, families. I really do. You look at the NFL, you look at the professional franchises in all sports, and some of the tickets, and just going to a game is just outrageous when you include concessions, parking, obviously the tickets. It's just outrageous, and I just hate to see some middle class people get left out, and it's probably going to happen, and it's just a reality. But it sucks.
Yeah, and I don't think we're candidates here for this $40,000 plan, but the reality is, even if you're given 10, plus you're buying the tickets, and you're in for say 15 to 20, and listen, the U of A isn't going to like what I'm getting ready to say, but you could take that 15 or 20,000, set it aside, and the games you really want to go to, the games that fit, hey, I don't have anything going on this weekend, I want to go watch Arkansas and OU, you could dip into that fund a lot of times to buy tickets on the secondary market. There used to be a day where games weren't on TV and secondary markets didn't exist, and you had to know somebody to get your hands on a ticket, and if not, you just stood on the sidewalk with two fingers in the air.
Yeah.
And those days are long gone. You could take the money you spend on parking, tailgating, concessions, tickets, giving, all of those things, and you could buy a lot of good seats to a lot of great games and probably have a lot of money left over.
Well, and I've talked to some people that give the upper tier of contributions, and they're not not exactly happy. Especially them, they're not happy because they're getting hit up about NIL and so many other things, and at some point, enough's enough, and when will be enough? Will this be the case where they lose some big money contributions? And I don't know. I mean, it may not. We may look back and say, well, that they obviously this worked out well, and this was needed to be able to compete against the best of the best in the SEC and nationwide. So, but at the same time, I think in targeting people that do give large amounts of money, they're just they have money fatigue. I can tell you that. I talked to several, and they're just kind of like, I don't even call me. Don't even call me about NIL.
Well,
don't call me about giving to facilities or whatever. I'm maxed out. I'm done.
Well, I think they ought to just put the tickets and the giving and all that stuff on Amazon, and you'd open up a whole market of females out there that, if you could figure out how to put it in a box on my doorstep, I think you'd at least have my wife's attention.
You still in that issue?
Oh, well, I mean, trust me, any married man listening is saying Kraft is 100% right on this. So that's what the U of A should do, is just put the tickets and the giving levels on Amazon. They'd probably sell a few.
I don't know if my dad's listening or not, but my dad does this thing with my, call her bonus mom because she is, where she has a budget, and occasionally she goes over it, but it seems to work. So just when you get home, you're good with spreadsheets. Just type out a spreadsheet and
a little pivot table or
hand it to Laura and see what happens.
Yeah. Tell
me tomorrow how it goes. Write that down.
Let me tell you how to go.
Doing the show solo tomorrow, Ty.
Yeah, that would not be. In other news, women beats.
Local radio station manager murdered.
Oh, I just crumbled up the Missouri box score. Hope I can live without that.
RD tonight, no Boogie Flan. It doesn't sound like he's going to play the rest of the season. Hadn't talked to you about that yet. Just kind of your thoughts on what's happening with this team right now.
Well, here's the optimistic side. Well, maybe Davis and some of the other guys, especially Davis, recognizes, okay, I need to do more. I have to do more, and he gets back into the way he played last year at Florida Atlantic. He's more aggressive. He's more assertive in his offensive game. You got 15 points you got to make up, and maybe other guys are saying, hey, this is my opportunity to do it, and that's the way I look at it. I think you may see improved play from some guys, and maybe that you're able to take care of the 15 points that you're going to be missing. So it'd be interesting. Obviously, it's like Chin said yesterday or the other day. It's going to be by committee for his taking over the point guard role, but I think it could loosen up some other guys and make them be more aggressive in their offensive game.
Artie, you're in NWA now, and I know no one wants to wait till next year, but Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff, and the kid that people can actually watch in person, Isaiah Sealy at Springdale. Have you got a chance to go to any games this year? And what can you say about one of the top 3 Arkansas recruits coming in class this next season?
Well, I haven't seen him this year, but I've seen him in the past, and he's very the thing that you think about with him is versatility. He can do just about everything, and then with his size, 6'6", 6'7", about 200, he can play the guard position. He can play the small forward position, and very, very athletic, as we've seen on that one dunk that we've talked about in the past. You see, he was a high flyer. His athleticism. A lot of times, people don't get as excited about 4 stars when you have several 5 stars on your roster or in your class. But Cal's had a lot of success with 4 stars or even 3 stars in the past. So I think Isaiah is a guy that I think some people may underestimate. I think we may look back in a year or two and go, wow, this guy, is pretty special.
Yeah, and he's got some role players around him. The Hudson kid, I'm forgetting the other one. Sealy's not. It's not a one-man band with that Springdale team. He's got some guys. That league is really competitive. Harbor's good. Bentonville West beat Harbor a week or so ago. Bentonville's pretty good. Fayetteville's going to try.
Where's
that 6A West conference is? I think very interesting to see how that plays out in the end.
Yeah, like you said, that's one thing you do notice when you look at the score boxes. In the scores, you see very competitive and pretty evenly matched teams. And sometimes when you have a star like Isaiah on one team, they can kind of sometimes dominate, but not necessarily the case.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.